what do you actually know about the true line of goalie gear, both the 12.2 and the 20.1, that you have not been told by the biased media of the hockey community or retailers themselves? Well, I've had my gear for over a full year now. I did initial impressions when I got the gear, a 3-month review before I left to Europe. I did updates throughout my entire time in Sweden. I recently did a 6-month review, and now here we are 365 days later to the day that I got the gear. You're likely watching this video because you want to know, should you buy the new True brand of gear? Well, don't buy anything yet. Let's rewind to why I ordered in the first place and ultimately why I do not recommend you invest your hard-earned money into anything True. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Let's begin. So my former YouTube manager got me a tour at Lefebvre factory. I'm still not sure how this worked out, but I was never a fan of the gear they made at CCM because I always felt like it was this Chinese-made junk and CCM didn't care. But I decided to give it a chance after someone on Instagram told me that they make everything in-house, by hand, in Canada now, the exact same stuff that the pros are using. And it got my attention. I already knew that Bryans and Vaughn were making gear in Canada, but nothing really ever impressed me from them, so I chalked this up to a worst-case scenario where I got a cool factory tour video out of it. They give me a free set that I get to test, review, and ultimately sell for Warrior G5 money. I'm serious. I was going to use the gear, sell it, and use the money to buy a custom set of G5s. So I did the factory tour, and let's just say that I was blown away by the passion and the care that was going on in this factory. I'd never been in a factory like this before, but when I put the gloves on, I touched the pads, and I talked to Patrick Lefebvre, the evil scientist who's behind all this gear, I knew that this was something special. Keeping in mind my gear order went in right when the coronavirus pandemic was hitting, it took them about 3 weeks top to bottom to get all my gear done between the shutdown to when they opened. About 2.5 weeks later, the gear was done, and about a half week later, so 3 weeks total, I had the gear in my hands. And from day one, I fell in love with this 20.1 gear. With that being said though, I am the type of person where if I want to like something, I'm going to love it. There's no exceptions. 3 months later, I was still in love with the gear. Lefebvre sent me a 600 and a 590 glove to try out. I knew the 580 was going to be the one for me because when I tried it for the first time, it just caught pucks in a way that I'd never caught pucks before. Right before I went to Europe, my 580 cuff had a plastic crack. Long story short, Lefebvre got me a shipping label that same day, fixed it up no problem, and while that was being fixed, they made me a practice palm double T 580, and I fell even more in love with that. And that still to this day has become my favorite glove I've ever owned and used. One of the things I want to focus on is performance here. The pads have been great since day one. They're literally 365 days later, the exact same pad that I got on day one, with the exception of a couple of discolored nylons, which really isn't that big of a deal. The pads do sit higher up because it's a taller boot and there's no cutout on the bottom of the boot. I also found they really help with me leaning forward in saves, which was a problem that I wanted to fix at the time when I was getting the gear. The rebounds are still hot, just like day one. Not maybe Bauer ultrasonic hot, but they are very hot. They're also super lightweight at 4.7 pounds per pad, I believe. Mine are 34+2. I know I'm a big guy at 6'5", but I'm only using a 34.2 because these fit so high. I don't think there's much else to say outside of they're just super lightweight and the pads are awesome. The double T is also amazing on this glove. It's got so much more snap and a better feel than the single T's before it. I was always a single T guy. I didn't want to try it. I didn't like Vaughn double T's. I didn't like any of the other double T's in the past, but I tried this Lefebvre one and it's just stiff and I love it. Simply put, I love it and I wouldn't change. The practice palm as well is invincible. There's no stingers at all.
All right, we're gonna get the Lefebvre glove warmed up. All right. Well, I'll keep it more to the side. Catch it in the pocket, it will hurt less.
And it closes just like a game ready glove because this is a practice extra glove. A practice glove will not close like this. The practice extra glove closes like a game ready glove with the practice palm protection. The skate lace pocket is also really great. I wish they used a softer style of skate lace that like Bauer would use for their skate lace pockets, but nonetheless, this is one of the best pockets I've ever used. The 580 break, I just told you that this is the best in the market. And actually the main reason I switched, one of my good friends, Jamie Phillips, former goaltender for the Manitoba Moose, Winnipeg Jets organization, he basically sold me on the fact that this was a puck catching machine. If you have a problem catching pucks, this is the glove for you.
You know, like you pull the sword out, you're the chosen one, like you put on the glove, it's the chosen break.
And after trying it, I'll tell you right now, I highly recommend a 580 to anybody, regardless whether you're good at catching pucks or not. It's also amazing for puck handling, hence why some of the best in the world use it. Jordan Bennington, Mike Smith, Braden Holtby, just to name a few. With all these positives being said, I do feel like the gloves haven't changed much in the last decade. It's still a pretty thick cuff. Really not much has changed. Really wish it was a little bit thinner because everybody else's gloves are so much thinner and so much lighter. The gloves are a little bit heavier and the blocker is much of the same. The blocker's great. Probably the best mobility in the market, which in turn gives the best puck handling because you can move your wrists in ways that other blockers in the market can't. client. They also have the best palm materials in the market with the sure grip material that they have. I'm saying all these great positive things with the blocker, but I switched to an ultrasonic blocker back in March. I didn't like the ultrasonic blocker at first, but here's the deal. I got a sweet hookup on a Bauer University code, which basically means I get access to getting a blocker for $200 instead of $500 by having a hookup through a code. By the way, if you want to know more about that, you should definitely send Bauer a message because I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. But I got the blocker in January, wasn't a fan of it because I couldn't really puck handle much with it, but I found the rebounds and the pucks were coming off so hot where I was getting so much more time to move into position on rebounds, and I was able to get on top of pucks more, which may not make sense, but if you've ever tried a 2021 Bauer blocker, whether it's the ultrasonic or the hyperlight, you know exactly what I mean. More time to reset in position means, simply put, you're not in as big of a rush. The ultrasonic blocker isn't great for puck handling, but this isn't an ultrasonic blocker review, but it's more the point that the rebounds on the Lefebvre blocker aren't hot enough. And I think that if they had a Bauer Vapor, a hyperlight thinness to them, the hot rebounds, this would be hands down the best blocker in the market. I switched to the ultrasonic because I was stopping more pucks with it. The puck handling is something that I'm willing to sacrifice. It's kind of like in Mario Kart. Do you want to drift or do you want to draft? Do you want speed or do you want braking? You can't have both. All this said, I don't know what the performance top to bottom of my 20.1 set could have possibly been any better. It's been amazing since day one, and I'm still really, really happy with how things are performing 365 days later. With that being said, this is a review. There's a lot of great things about the 20.1 gear, but there are a few things that I would love to see fixed. First off, making the pads a little bit lighter. I know they're already light. They're probably up there with the G5s as being the lightest pad in the market. Why not shave off a little bit more weight and make them the lightest pad in the market by far? Also, as far as the blocker goes, let's make it thinner. Let's make it more like a hyperlight blocker. Let's make the rebounds a lot hotter. Let's make the gloves lighter. Let's make the glove cuff thinner on the 580. I think reinforcing the T-bar and the T itself is also a great direction to head. I found that it was flopping over a lot. I think a lot of people do, so that might be a great idea moving forward. Also, a better graphic. Also a classic color option. Let's be honest, these graphics really do suck. The only good graphic out there nowadays is the L87, the retro graphic that they're offering. So let's make some better graphics. Finally, I like to see a couple different options for different models of Pro Laces on the actual true pad. So for example, I use the TRAVSUCKS set of Pro Laces. I don't like the regular ones that they're shipping with. And if you want to pick a setup, you can use the promo code TRAVSUCKS for $5 off your Pro Laces order. A link in the description as you can see here. I like them because they're the longest toe ties in the market. They're the most durable. You're gonna get the best bang for your buck. They also stretch all the way to the back of the skate, so you're putting a lot less stress on the front of your skate and dispersing the weight throughout the entire length of the blade. Those are just some of the reasons why I like the TRAVSUCKS best. I'm sure you could probably ask Lefebvre or ask True, and they'd probably do it for you, but it'd be nice if it was an actual option. But having the ability to not have to order them through Pro Laces and have them on the pad would be nice. Now let's talk about the durability. A year later, this is where Lefebvre really separates themselves from the rest. When you have somebody making the gear who's been doing it for 25 plus years, they know what they're doing, they make a real wage doing it, they know what they're doing, simply put. When you have somebody making minimum wage in a sweatshop in China, they probably don't care. And I don't think the durability on this set could possibly be any better. The original glove that I had a couple of durability issues with the plastics. Apparently this was because they're using old plastics. They hadn't fully switched over to the new plastics for full right gloves. But the T-bar was also flopping over a lot, and I found that stingers were happening a lot in the palm. Simply put, the practice glove that I had fixed all of it. They reinforced the T-bar, wasn't flopping over. I got the practice palm, no more stingers, and they also had the new updated plastics. Outside of that, the blocker palm has a little bit of ripping on the sugar materials, but it's not that big of a deal. I also haven't used this blocker since February because I switched to ultrasonic, so nothing new has really transpired in the durability on that blocker. Also, the biggest durability issue I guess I would have is probably the fact that the fast rotation system, which is like a Velcro strapping system on the leg channel, it's starting to lose its stickiness on the Velcro. So it's consistently coming off a lot more, not sticking as well. But I have used them a lot. They've traveled a lot. They've been all over the world over the last year, but that's probably to be expected when they're getting good use. Let's talk about some value and I guess ultimately a verdict. The value on my 20.1 set is about as much as it possibly could be, but here's where I have a problem, which, ultimately would I recommend them or not? I predicted 6 months ago in my 6-month review that True, with the new partnership with Lefebvre, I predicted that they would find a way to water everything down and ruin this good mom and pop thing they had going, this Canadian handmade thing with care. VH was a Winnipeg-based company making handcrafted Canadian-made skates. When True bought VH, I was told by the folks at VH, don't worry, nothing's changing. They're gonna invest some cash into us so we can kind of do a little bit more research and development. True then sent me a custom set of 2-piece skates. I had a bunch of durability issues. True was sending me sticks as well on top of it. And at no point did I ever hear, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because we'd like to take that into consideration to make the product better. Responses I would get, hey, we have a new product coming out. We have a new trailer coming out. Do you want to post about this? Do you want to talk about our new product? I can't sit here and say, I believe True is going to do a good job. And if you look at the last 6 months, and if you look at the facts, I'm 100% accurate in those predictions that they would ruin what they have going on. Let's just start with the custom wait time to begin with. Okay, so currently on the website, the actual legit True Lefebvre website, they're quoting at 13 to 15 weeks for custom order delivery. I was told by an inside source who will remain nameless that some of the higher ups at True heard that I was working on my 1 year review and I was gonna mention the wait times at 19 to 22 weeks. So they changed that 13 to 15 weeks, so that I wouldn't get a chance to grab footage of the 19 to 20 week wait time and blast them for it. Luckily, I'm one step ahead and I already got that on footage. This is the true wait time right now. I've been told by the folks at True, it's 20 to 22 weeks right now. So the 17 to 19 week wait time is a very, very generous wait time. Even Brian's right now, if you look at their wait time, 8 to 10 weeks, literally half the time. I could order 2 custom Brian sets, order 1 set today, get it in 10 weeks, order another one, and I get the second set before True even finished my first set. For any of the conspiracy theorists that are gonna be in the comment section, Trav, you're full of shit, just trying to make True look bad. I've been confirmed by multiple different retailers, this 19 to 20 week wait time, this is legit, this is the actual wait time. So if you order gear today, you ain't seen that till at least the middle or beginning of September, at best. The Lefebvre factory under CCM used to only be for the pros. That's all they did. So now True is trying to get the same pro-only factory to service pros, college, junior, and all the retail worldwide. So a 22-week wait time. I don't know why you would ever, order when you can't see your gear for almost 6 months. Like if you ordered your gear today, you're probably not going to see it until Halloween, which kind of defeats the purpose of ordering custom gear for a team because you might be traded if you're playing junior by the time your gear actually comes in. Maybe you want to get all white. I don't really want to order when I have to wait 6 months when I could order 2 sets of Brian's gear, 2 sets of any other company out there before True gets a chance to even finish my first order. True spread themselves so thin top to bottom here. They're also looking for a way to do retail overseas for cheap. So once again, going full circle in the way that they did business with Lefebvre when it was with CCM. They were doing the pros, they were watering down the retail lines being made overseas. So do I recommend Lefebvre? Yeah. Patrick Lefebvre, Stefan Trache, and everybody at Lefebvre have been making gear for longer than I've been alive. I wasn't even a twinkle in my dad's eye when they were making the first sets for Patrick Waugh and his 93 Cup run. With that being said, I do think that this 20.1 product is going to be the last great product coming from Lefebvre for the next little bit because I believe True is going to continue to water it down, take shortcuts all along the ways, handicapping Lefebvre and trying to make money. They're already the highest price point gear on the market, and with the longest wait times by far, almost double anybody else, I honestly can't sit here and tell you, yes, buy True. Buy Lefebvre gear. I called it back when they bought out Veach 4 years ago, and I called it again 6 months when they merged Lefebvre. So far, I'm batting 100%, and if I'm a betting man, I'm telling you, don't invest in anything True right now, simply based on those principles. Over a year since I got this Lefebvre equipment, it's been great. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, but we do need to talk about one thing. When it comes to equipment, one of the biggest things that we want to have is security, something that'll keep us protected, keep us safe on the ice, so we can't get hurt. You're on the internet right now watching this video, and your internet security is no different. NordVPN is one of the leaders on the internet right now as far as keeping your personal data safe and secure. Every time you go on the internet, there's a chance somebody could be taking your data, taking your personal information, your IP address, even spamming you. This is why you end up on all those email lists from those Pakistani scammers that promise you a large sum of $250,000. You just give them your social insurance number. I know, tempting, right? NordVPN can help get rid of that. Also, with the playoff time, streaming all the games, the Jet game, the Lightning games, all these games are going on right now. If you want to use like an NHL 66 or any other streaming services, they might be compromising your data, but you get NordVPN, they keep that safe, nobody takes your information, and guess what? They got a great special going on right now. For less than $4 a month, you get 2 years of NordVPN plus 1 month for free. I've been using Nord for over a year now. I love it. I think you will too. And if you go to nordvpn.com/TravForWaters, you can get a great deal using the promo code TravForWaters as well. Take advantage of these savings. Again, thanks to Nord for sponsoring the video, and they will keep you safe, just like this glove keeps me safe on a regular basis. Thanks for watching this video. Check out my new podcast, The Biscuit, with my buddy Pat Shea. New vlogs will return next week because I just ordered brand new equipment for the start of next season when I go back to Europe. Anyway.